Hello students, welcome back to Adi Chemistry online classes. Today we will explore hydroformylation, also known as the Oxo process. It is one of the most important industrial reactions used to convert millions of tons of alkenes into aldehydes every year. In this session, we will learn how this reaction takes place in the presence of organometallic catalysts and understand the basic steps involved in its mechanism. Let us get started. As shown on the screen, when an alkene is treated with a mixture of carbon monoxide and hydrogen gases, also known as syngas, in the presence of a cobalt catalyst such as tricarbonyl hydridocobalt 1, a mixture of aldehydes is formed. Usually, the linear aldehyde is formed as the major product, while the branched aldehyde is the minor product. In this reaction, one hydrogen atom and a CHO group are added across the double bond, forming an aldehyde with one additional carbon atom compared to the original alkene. Let us walk through the mechanism. The active catalyst tricarbonyl hydridocobalt 1 is generated by the precatalyst octacarbonyl dicobalt under the reaction conditions. Initially, tetracarbonyl hydridocobalt 1 is formed when octacarbonyl dicobalt reacts with hydrogen. This tetracarbonyl hydridocobalt 1 is considered the catalyst in its resting state. It then loses one carbonyl ligand to form tricarbonyl hydridocobalt 1, which acts as the active catalyst in the reaction. Tricarbonyl hydridocobalt 1 is a tetrahedral 16 electron complex. It is electron deficient and therefore readily accepts an additional ligand to achieve a more stable 18 electron configuration. Therefore, it coordinates to the double bond of the alkene to form an 18 electron complex as shown on the screen. Now the alkene inserts into the cobalt hydride bond. If the insertion occurs in such a way that hydrogen adds to the more substituted carbon, a 16 electron complex with a linear alkyl group as the ligand is formed. If hydrogen adds to the less substituted carbon, a 16 electron complex with a branched alkyl group as a ligand is formed. Both pathways are possible. However, the pathway leading to the linear alkyl complex is favored and gives the major product. In the next step, a carbonyl ligand is added to form an 18 electron complex. Here both possibilities are shown, one with a linear alkyl group and the other with a branched alkyl group. Now the coordinated carbon monoxide inserts into the cobalt alkyl bond. This step is called migratory insertion of CO. As a result, the alkyl group is converted into an acyl group, forming a cobalt acyl complex. Both linear and branched pathways continue in this step, giving the corresponding linear and branched acyl complexes. In the next step, oxidative addition of H2 to the cobalt center occurs, forming an 18 electron complex. The oxidation state of cobalt is increased to +3 oxidation state from +1. Remember, this is the rate determining step of the reaction. Finally, the aldehyde is released through reductive elimination and the catalyst is regenerated to continue the cycle. In this step, the cobalt is again reduced to +1 oxidation state. The cobalt-based catalysts are first-generation hydroformylation catalysts that operate under high pressures and temperatures and exhibit moderate regioselectivity, typically producing linear and branched aldehydes in a ratio of about 4:1. Rhodium-based catalysts are second-generation hydroformylation catalysts that operate under milder conditions and exhibit high regioselectivity, typically producing predominantly linear aldehydes with linear to branched ratios often exceeding 10:1. Due to the use of bulky triphenyl phosphine ligands which favor formation of the linear product. Rhodium-based catalysts are second-generation hydroformylation catalysts that operate under milder conditions and exhibit high regioselectivity, typically producing predominantly linear aldehydes with linear to branched ratios often exceeding 10:1. Due to the use of bulky triphenyl phosphine ligands which favor formation of the linear product. That's all for now. Visit audichemistry.com for more information on this topic or search for CSIR NET GATE Audichemistry by using any search engine to get study material for these examinations. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe. All the best.